So I actually want to bring this discussion back to a thing I always talk about, which is fighting games. You have problems with your motor skills. I have problems with my motor skills too. And so when I compete in fighting games, I use controllers that more easily mesh with my physical limitations. Things like hitboxes or sticks with unique button layouts. In fact, there is a huge market in the fighting game world for custom controllers made specifically to suit someone's physical ability. And these controllers are all legal at the highest level of play. You could take them to EVO. The dividing line, the measuring stick, is can these controllers allow you to do something that someone with a normal controller couldn't? If the answer is yes, then your controller is illegal. If the answer is no, then your controller is legal. And there are lots of people like me, lots of people with disabilities that require more accommodation than me, that play fighting games at a professional level because these sorts of controllers are allowed. Now, does this make certain inputs easier? Yes, it does. But the thing here is that the fighting game community has decided that the inputs are not the game. At least at a high enough level. There's definitely people who still argue that you need to do pretzel motions to be a real fighting gamer. But at the tournament level, the inputs are not the game. The game is knowing what moves to use at what time to use against your opponent. And so making those moves easier to execute for people with limited physical ability doesn't actually make the game easier. They still have to make the right decisions against their opponent. And if they are worse than their opponent, they'll still get stomped regardless of the controller they use. And you could apply the same rationale to Souls-like games. The gameplay of Souls-like games is knowing when to dodge, when to attack, how to build your character. Being able to see the game better, or respond to the game better, or understand the game better, or control the game better, doesn't change the gameplay. Or if it does, it's at a very slight level. A level slight enough that the core experience probably wouldn't change. So that way, Souls games are still going to be difficult. But they're difficult for the reasons they're meant to be difficult, the gameplay. They're not difficult due to being unable to access them because of limited physical ability. Like, people always talk about the Souls games in terms of author vision. I assure you that it was not Miyazaki's vision that disabled people should not be able to play his game. You can be accessible and still be difficult, and Souls games should.